Welcome back to Marshall Remodel. Today is another episode of getting the most out of your land, and I'm going to be sharing all about our canning kitchen today. Paul and I, for a lot of years, we have wanted to have more self-sustaining practices as a part of our lifestyle. So we have tried to come up with some simple ways to accomplish that without getting overcomplicated. Our garden is very uncomplicated and it's doing great. So that has led me to have to spend a lot of time here in this canning kitchen getting the produce processed and saved so that we can use it all year round. We get a lot of questions about what is a canning kitchen. Simply put, we designed this kitchen as a part of our garage space so that we would have a bigger, more open space in order to process our meat, process our produce, things like that. So canning is something that Paul's family especially has done for many years, and it provides a significant amount of their food all year round. So Paul and I wanted to do that same thing for our family. We also just need a place. When you have a garden as large as ours, there are certain things that will just start growing, and you just have so much of it that you need a place to put excess that's separate from like your main kitchen, because you may not have time to deal with it right away. And you know, it's not uncommon for us to pick like 50 pounds of tomatoes at a time and have to figure out what do we do with them like right here and now. So this space is great for handling all of our excess produce. It's inadvertently become a great space for us to use as our kitchen while we're finishing building out our house. So that's why the setup is the way that it is. Next year, we will have it be a very true like processing space instead. The zucchini harvest was abundant, so I took a lot of the excess zucchini and made muffins from it. The kids devoured them. I'll have to make a lot more, and I do have plans to shred the zucchini and freeze it. I've done that in the past and that works out pretty well. Zucchini is a very watery vegetable, and so it's not going to be suitable for me to thaw it out and maybe saute it or anything like that. It gets very mushy, but mixed in with the muffin recipe that I use, it's excellent. Cucumbers were another thing that they've just gone bananas. We have so many of them, and I tried my hand at making pickles for the first time because I didn't want the cucumbers to go to waste. So we do gift some of our produce to friends and family, but we also want to use as much as possible for ourselves so that we can actually reduce our grocery bill throughout the year. Kept the process really simple this year, and I made bread and butter pickles, I made kosher dill pickles, and I made pickle relish with a lot of our cucumbers. The setup that we have is really functional. We intentionally put a really large range in the canning kitchen to serve as extra oven space when we have holidays here at our house eventually and other big parties, and also to have this big cooktop. I was able to have 2 water baths going at the same time. I could have easily had a third, maybe even 4 of them going. And that's going to come in handy throughout the years, and especially when we are harvesting different items. Because like I said, you know, some days we might pick 50 pounds of tomatoes and you want to get to them fairly quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of a tour, as well as show you how I did everything in this space. As most of you know, we are using this as our actual kitchen while we finish our home, which is why we have things set up the way that they are. Here we have our very awesome, very useful 3-basin stainless steel sink. We purchased this through an auction site that we found here in Iowa, and it ran, I think it cost us just under $500 for this sink, and it has been amazing. This is actually the dishwasher that will go in the kitchen inside the house, but since we knew we'd be here for a little bit, we went ahead and installed it, and it's been a lifesaver. This find was one of our greatest purchases. It's a Decor 48-inch range that we found on Facebook Marketplace, that someone had used it for maybe a year and they wanted to get rid of it. They had the original receipt, which was about $12,000. We got it for $3,500, and it's been worth every penny. So we have 2 oven spaces, and we have this large cooktop, which this for canning purposes I removed, but it's amazing. So you see we have our little setup with our cooking items, and then our dishwasher pods. I keep cleaning stuff and our dish rack here, but thankfully we're not using this as much now that we have the dishwasher. As everywhere in the garage, we used prime lights. They're bolt lights, and these are fantastic for lighting up this space. This side of the canning kitchen is going to change the most as we move into the house, because for now I just have our canning pots and supplies stacked here. Then we have laundry. This will get moved into the main house very soon. And then this is an extra refrigerator we've had through a few different projects, but we are planning on replacing it with a cooler, like a big stand-up cooler that you see in a restaurant kitchen. And then we plan on doing some sort of countertop and storage solution over here so that all of our canning supplies can be neatly organized, stay clean. And we will probably end up replacing that dishwasher with something else so that we can keep using one out here to sterilize the jars, etc. We have found just pretty much every single year that somehow the zucchini gets away from us now and again, and that's happened again this year. And so I'm going to do what I normally do, which is just shred it and then use it in a muffin recipe. It's a great way to use up zucchini that otherwise wouldn't be very good for using in your cooking and sauteing and stuff. So that is a really special treat. The kids love it. Throw some chocolate chips in there. It's one of our favorites. Garden that is just like brimming with vegetables right now. Cucumbers and zucchini in particular, which is why I shared what we do with a bunch of our excess zucchini already. And then now I'm moving on to making some stuff with our cucumbers. So I'm planning on doing pickle relish and probably a sweet and a dill variety. We have plenty of cucumbers right now. This is just from like the last 2 days. I have some in the fridge as well. Got the first batch going. We're gonna simmer that for a little bit and then we'll be all ready to add to these jars. As you can see, I was able to make quite a bit of this relish, and I'm gonna give it a little space, check all of the jars about 24 hours in to make sure that they've all sealed, and if they haven't, I'll probably just throw those in the fridge. But I'm pretty excited. We'll wait about a week to break into anything. So for the next round of canning, I just bought this zesty bread and butter pickle mix, and I'm just going to follow the directions on the back and get going with these pickles. I have the last of the bread and butter pickles going, and now it's time to do the kosher dill, which is also just a packet. I have 2 of these, and I'm not sure I have enough supplies left, so I may have to run to the store. But here's what we've got going to wrap up this cucumber harvest so far. Now that we have pickle canning completed, it is time to get this canning kitchen cleaned up. hope you enjoyed this tour of our canning kitchen and that it is inspiring you as you plan out your own build. We highly recommend adding a space like this. It doesn't have to be this large, but just a dedicated space to kind of take care of the extra mess if you are trying to move towards having more self-sustaining practices. We are planning on just adding something every year to our practices that will help us be just less reliant on going to the store for things and able to provide for our family here on our property. Again, we like to keep things simple, so don't feel discouraged if you can't do everything that you want to do in 1 year. Just set goals for yourself and do one thing every year, add something in, and before you know it, you'll have a lot of things that create your self-sustaining lifestyle. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.